Welcome to the Voncast show. This is not sponsored by Collective Lifestyle, but I got the owner of Collective Lifestyle with me, CJ. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How about
Pretty
you?
good. Doing good, man. Doing good. So, you were here on the show maybe maybe like January of last year, and around the time, maybe February?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, before I had a visual component.
Yeah.
We were in the studio at CSUN. So, lots happened since then. Noticed Collective Lifestyle, the physical store is not there anymore.
Yep.
Can you talk to us about that or what happened?
Yeah. It's just a business decision that we had to make. There's a lot of factors that went involved with it, but some things could be like a retail store might not always be the most profitable thing.
Right.
Especially in like in retail, you're usually paying for foot traffic. Like if you're paying for a space to rent it. Right. So us, we were paying $2,400 a month there. That $2,400 a month is usually to be because you're in a good location where you get foot traffic.
Right.
There, we didn't get foot traffic.
Mm-hmm.
All of our traffic was because we did a good job at making sure that people came to the store.
Right.
Through having our events, through having our summer series, by having good releases, having good inventory, stuff like that. So that was one thing. Like you're paying a high amount, and then if the foot traffic's not there, my logic was, why don't I just maybe I could just shut down the store. I could go move to a warehouse for half the price,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately the numbers change as far as like profit wise,
Right.
and the money you're making. And people were coming to us anyway. It's not like they're walking in on the street.
Right.
So I could just send them over there if that's the case. So that was one part. Another part is everyone's not too many people are shopping in stores nowadays. They're going online.
Right.
So that's another huge thing. Another one is just a prediction, but most likely in the next 1 to 2 years we're going to see a recession. In the last recession, retail took a beating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a lot of those stores closing.
Yeah.
Like Sears is going down. You name it. Like a lot of the retail stores, they're going down. You could even see it in the malls when you're there right now. It's just empty.
Yeah.
So in the last recession that happened, we're due for a recession in the next 1 to 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really going to kill retail. You'll see like a lot of the stores you love now, they're going to be gone after this coming recession. So one of my things is I always wanted to beat a recession.
Right.
So that's kind of one of my ways of beating a recession. There's no way I could stay there and beat a recession because as soon as the recession hits, everyone's going to stop spending.
Sure.
And no one needs clothes.
Right.
It'll be gone before we know it. So getting out of there before that happens was also part of it. But yeah, there's a lot more to it. But
that's smart.
Yeah.
You beat the, what is it called? Like you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, what's
like
that thing called? Yeah.
something like
not reactive.
quit while you're ahead of the game.
Kind of.
You're not quitting, but in the retail sense, you kind of are because like it's true. You're right. I mean, currently right now, I don't know if tax refunds and tax returns will be distributed at the timely manner because there's a government shutdown.
Yeah.
Some say that could be a start of the recession.
Yeah.
Right? Because ton of people, including myself, rely on that like extra $100 or some people thousands of dollars to get back from the government around this time.
Yeah.
Or around like maybe late January, early February, or the month of February.
Yeah.
And they use that money, they spend it all on the economy.
Yeah.
But if it's not there, it may be an issue. So that's really good. I commend you on that one.
Yeah.
You're right. I have worked at the mall and still do. And the shops that are like surviving are like the fast fashion ones, like H&M, Forever 21. They're staying in for sure, but like the higher boutique ones, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though the physical aspect of Collective Lifestyle is not there, there's still an online presence.
Yeah.
Right. You got any new stuff coming up?
Yeah. So we just got these. We were just talking about. We just got those new embroidered hoodies that we're coming out with. We just dropped it like 2 nights ago.
Oh, they're out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're on our online store right now. Mm-hmm. They're going for $50. Got them in sand, black, olive, and athletic heather.
Nice.
We got that going on. Yeah.
Nice. And I will say that while the Collective Lifestyle store is open, dude, thank you so much for having that space. An artist like me, don't have much like exposure, but like you opening up that space for open mics and other events. Dude, that was awesome, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
think like all the artists, visual and musical artists or dancers, they thank you, you know, because that was a spot to be at. It was a very
Yeah.
big community space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thank you. Everyone
no
thanks you
problem.
for that, man. That was
Thanks.
awesome. We definitely missed that spot. Let's see. So, let's see. Take it back last week. It was like 9 p.m. on Sunday. I'm just checking through Facebook. And you were like, I'm running for a slate, you know, in the Progressive Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Like political endeavors. I'm like, holy shit, this is trippy. I have to hit you up for that.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us more about that and how you got into it?
Yeah, so it's for the assembly. I'm running to be a delegate for the Assembly District 45, which is a good portion of the San Fernando Valley, for the California Democratic Party. And what that is basically there's 80 districts in the state of California.
Right.
And each district gets to send 7 men and 7 women to be a delegate
Right.
for the California Democratic Party. So the way it works is like the California Democratic Party. It's kind of like, you know, you just say it's some people, but what it really is like the first third is our elected officials. So say you're our state senator, governor, the mayors, you know, our Congress members. So that's the first third. So it's all people with actual political positions. And then the second third is each county in the state of California. So like LA County, Ventura County. Each county sets their own set of rules on who they want to send to be our representatives in the California Democratic Party. So that's the second third of people. And the third third of people is those 80 districts. They send 7 men, 7 women per district to represent us. Yeah, basically that's kind of what I'm going to be running for, is to be one of our delegates that represent us on behalf of the Democratic Party. Yeah, I get to represent us at like the Democratic conventions each year, basically.
Nice. What made you want to pursue something like this? Because you went from, you know, you're a DJ, you run a clothing store, label, brand. What made you want to venture out in politics?
I don't know. I kind of just kind of got down that whole. Actually, you know, when I started at CSUN, I guess CSUN kind of started it. Actually, like in high school, I was just all about basketball. And then when I was in college, you know, I joined a fraternity. One of the first positions for my fraternity was I was the IFC, which is Interfraternal Council delegate. So it's kind of like my fraternity sent me as the delegate. Kind of like it's like the same concept in IFC. So that's where all the other fraternities had a representative, and you talk about, you know, the fraternity life at CSUN, I guess.
Right.
And like usually it was like it dealt with like rules and like, you know, stuff that CSUN was implementing and stuff like that. So I kind of learned from there, and then, you know, I got involved with my fraternity, and then even with FASA, CSUN FASA, you know, becoming like the president there, and then there's this thing called SC FASA, which is the Southern California Filipino American Student Association. It's like the same thing. You send people there, and you're all kind of representatives. And then I even got involved with CSUN AS. Okay. Yeah, just from there, you kind of, you know, you start learning about like getting involved with your community and like being a representative for the organizations that you hold. Right. And like usually when you take like a leadership position like that, you're kind of doing it to like represent other people, or to, you know, to lead and to organize for what could be a potentially better life for people. Right. Yeah. So I guess like when after college, you know, I did a lot of community work with Collective Lifestyle, with the shop. I was on a committee called Northridge Vision. They do a lot of the urban planning out in Northridge. So like they deal with like the bike lanes, the street cleanups. You see those yellow benches that were painted. Yes. Those were those guys. And then you know, doing stuff like the Reseda Boulevard Summer Series. It's all like, you know, it's all community work. Like that committee is actually filled with all the neighborhood council presidents, like Northridge South, Northridge East, all that type of stuff. And then after that, I joined the Northridge South Neighborhood Council as the business stakeholder to kind of represent some of the businesses out here in Northridge. And then yeah, after that, like, you know, just kind of down the rabbit hole from there. Worked on some campaigns.
Yeah, because I remember you worked on some campaigns. Your shop was like a space for like people like start campaigning. A couple political individuals. I forgot their name.
Yeah, like Encore Patel.
Yeah, Encore.
Yeah, he's good. He's a CSUN alumni.
Did you know when you started hosting political stuff in your store that you were like, hey, this is something I'd want to do in the future?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, not in a sense that like, oh man, I just want to be a politician. Like, not really that, but kind of like as a way to give back and to just serve the community around you. Make the world a better place than you kind of came in.
Right.
To it.
I like that. That's pretty cool. So, what did your parents say when you're like, hey, I want to do some political stuff? Did they take it seriously, or were they like, oh, that's awesome?
No, not really. They found out through Facebook.
Really? Like everyone else?
Yeah. And then, I actually didn't really tell anyone, like, I guess in person. But, I guess they were just kind of wondering, because most people don't know what it is. Most people still don't know what it is. They're like, oh, there's another election? And most people don't know that. Most people don't know that you have to be a Democrat to run, to actually vote for that. It's actually like a low turnout vote, but, hopefully, actually, I think ever since Trump's been in office, voter turnout has been pretty high because people are realizing that we need to exercise our right to vote.
Right.
But I think other than that, I think my dad might be a Republican. So I don't know how he thought about that, but
I think it's cool. You're young and you're getting into politics.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. You're actually trying to make a difference, which is good. It's one thing if you're just on social media, voicing your opinions on what you think is right, what you think is wrong, but you're actually going out there in the field and trying to make a difference.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat, man. So what are some agendas or like stances you promote the slate of 45?
Slate of 45. Well, we're against like bigotry and fascism for once, so that's like you're Donald Trump.
Right.
We're all about like clean energy, like the Green New Deal, getting money out of politics. There's a lot, but usually like progressive Democrat ideals, like things I might see like a Bernie Sanders say, so like a $15 minimum wage, guaranteed paid time off, or like paid time vacation.
Right.
Things like that. Just trying to progress the world.
That's good
in a sense.
What do you think the importance of youth like involvement in politics? Because I hear that I've read this somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but like a good majority of the youth are not really interested in politics, or I mean they're interested, but they don't really go vote and try to make a difference. How important do you think that is?
I think it's pretty important. I mean, it's going to impact them the most because they have the most amount of years left on the planet.
Right.
They're kind of inheriting what we're kind of giving them. So I think it's pretty important for them to get involved. But you'll even notice like a lot of the youth are getting involved. Like there's actually movements for people that want to lower the voting age to 16 because they feel that at 16 they already know what's going on and it's their planet too, that they should have the right to vote. So you're going to see a lot of that coming out soon. You have the youth already, like in high school, they're doing like walkouts against gun violence.
Right.
That's like something like when I was in high school, like you get in trouble for ditching school. I mean,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's like the full campus is walking out, and teachers are kind of respecting that. So it's pretty cool. It's good to see the youth get involved, and it's probably something that should be promoted. More amongst them.
Definitely. Yeah. So you've been here, on the show twice, and you've done different ventures, or still are doing different ventures, just in different formats. Any advice on this kind of life? And I saw this picture of like you on Instagram or social media, just do you.
Yeah.
Like, can you? I don't know.
Yeah, that was a hoodie from Acrylic Clothing. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they have a lot of those cool music designs. But it's just a quote. Just do you. You don't have to conform to like society's norms.
Right.
Just do you, whatever that might be. You don't have to get a job. You don't have to slave away till you're 60, 65. You can do
Yeah.
do whatever you want to do. You know, just do it. Just follow your dreams, follow what you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anyone phase you. Just do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think a lot of people in the creative field kind of definitely agree with that. You know, it might be tough just because you're going against society and everything. Yeah, I mean, I've seen you, do a bunch of stuff, and that's cool. You're still like doing what you're doing, and you have the online presence at Collective Lifestyle still.
Yeah.
We just go out, check it out once in a while. Karen checks it out. Let's see, what was another thing I was going to ask about that? What motivates you in the day? Like, what keeps you going? I mean, DJing and, owning your clothing company, doing this, what keeps you motivated in the morning? Just like waking up and just keep doing what you want to do. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, one of my purposes in life is to change the world in a positive way.
Okay.
Sometimes people kind of like look at that and they're like, what does that really mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I try to follow it as much as possible. Like with opening the store, I felt we were changing the world there.
Definitely.
Especially when you start with home, because like, so many people can have a brand and have an online presence and then really try to, do it online. But what really matters is kind of like in person, also at the same time, it's like, what kind of impact are you making in your communities? How are you changing people's like way of living, I guess.
Right.
So that's kind of why I want to do, politics. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm trying to, become president of the world, but, unfortunately, like politics, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, politics really shapes the world around us, and like the policies that are in place and the laws, and how we conduct business in the real day world. Mm-hmm. So I guess politics is like it's kind of like, if that's the rules of the game, you got to play the game to make an impact in the game. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. And I always wondered why like brands would call themselves lifestyle brands.
Yeah.
When it's just like, to me, just like clothing. But
Yeah.
I see with Collective Lifestyle, you definitely did and still do leave an impact, like a lifestyle, being positive, promoting positive change, done so much for the community, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Collective Lifestyle is like a big one, big collective.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we were a store, did I tell you that
The
story?
blogs, right?
Yeah.
I saw there's a blog, Collective Lifestyle blogs.
Yeah, so we used to have like over 1,000 blogs on our website on like changing the world. They were about like homelessness, ending war, like the wealth inequality gap, just stuff like that, like getting free college, education, stuff like that. But we used to have that's what Collective Lifestyle was about before we opened a store.
Okay.
What we realized was, in order for us to keep Collective Lifestyle, because if you don't make money off it, eventually you're gonna get tired or you're gonna quit. I mean, some people can be really passionate about something and keep it going forever, but to some extent, if you don't make money, if you don't find a way to monetize something, eventually you might end up quitting it. So that was kind of our thought. Like about a year in, we were like, oh man, this is tiring. We were getting up 6 to 10 blogs a day, but if you're not making money off it, you're like, dang, like, what's going to keep us going? Like, How are you going to keep doing it 10 years from now, Or, like, if you're on my team, how am I going to get you to keep doing it if you're not getting paid?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was one of our ways. Opening the store was one of the ways that we decided to turn a blog into a way of making money.
I don't think we covered that last time. That's pretty neat, because I do remember, like, I was confused for a minute when I checked out Collective Lifestyle. I'm like, is this Collective Lifestyle? Is it Collective Lifestyle LA? I was kind of confused.
Yeah.
But it's all one.
Yeah,
Man. Blogs have definitely seen a decline the past few years.
Yeah, they have.
They were like the shit back then.
Yeah.
People would just read them. Did you ever write blogs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man. Did you ever Zanga?
I did.
You did? Me too.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Those are fun, man. Like, those were before, like, social media, what it was now. It was, a lot of it was writing, there's power in that. So, when does this all go down to voting? Is it January 13th?
Yeah, January 13th. I believe it's 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like a round of speeches first, and then after that you can just come in and vote.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be food there too. It's in Winnetka, so
Okay.
most people in the district, it's about like a 5-minute drive away from them.
Okay. Cool. So, before we finish this, I just want to kind of backtrack to how you got into this. I mean, does one just kind of sign up and like, hey, I want to be part of the 45 slate, let me in? How does that process work?
Yeah, so, well, actually, someone reached out to me and asked me if I was interested in being a delegate, I guess, because they're looking for more people to run and to basically like represent the people. So I said yes. Long story short, there was like a mix-up. They thought I was in a different district and whatever. I didn't get on there. But I guess like, I saw people's slates going up and I was like, oh, I'm not there. I was like, all right. But then anyway, I messaged them just in case, just to follow up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, turns out there was a mix-up, and then they sent me to someone else. And long story short, I guess ahead of time the slates, it's kind of like when it's kind of like running in the let's just say you're running in the Republican Party. It's like, oh, you put up Republican and now all the Republicans vote for you. Right. It's kind of the same thing. I'm running with a progressive slate, so we're with a bunch of like progressive type of people, which is again like for clean air, clean energy, free college tuition, right. That type of stuff. But basically, so they want to meet you and kind of get an idea of like what you're about,
right.
and all that stuff. But this time, I guess I was the last person being added to the slate because it was kind of late in the game. But I guess a few people like vouched for me and they're like, hey, add CJ on, like awesome. He's really good. And then someone gave me a call, gave me an interview, and after that, I guess they just convinced everyone else to just no one needs to interview me, just he's
That's
good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Are you the youngest in the slate?
Not the youngest, but I'm like second to youngest. There's someone else that's the student at UCLA, I believe. Mm-hmm. I'm second youngest.
Do you feel like intimidated almost because I saw the slate and a lot of them are older?
Yeah.
Does like that age gap kind of make you feel intimidated? Like, damn, they have like this much political experience ahead of me, or just many years ahead of me in general?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to like a lot of these people. Once like I thought I was very political. I thought I knew a lot. Once you step into like the whole like political scene, I guess everyone knows everything. Yeah. Everyone knows like things that happened this morning. People know, and they'll know like the bill. They'll know who said it or what the full details are. Like sometimes me, like I got to work too, so I can't really fully get into all the details every time. So sometimes my mind tends to like skim. So it's like it's hard for me to know everything, Right. But I guess these people know, like they're very informed. So yeah, it kind of gets intimidating, and then sometimes it's for me, like I haven't been like I don't really talk about like politics vocally a lot. Mm-hmm. So but I do a lot of stuff like virtually,
Right.
Like I have a bunch of accounts where I like spread positive messages through there. But since I haven't like vocalized this or I haven't spoken about it a lot, sometimes it's like I can't I can't really like I know what I can think it, but like sometimes it's hard for me to say it,
This is practice right here.
Yeah, practice right here, yeah.
I totally get it, man, but I think sometimes I don't know, actions speak louder than words. Sure, you may not always vocalize it, but look what you've done.
Yeah.
Community, man.
Yeah.
Look what you've given artists a place to, express their creativity at. Your clothing brand, it's kind of what you do. Like you're in the neighborhood council. Yeah. I remember the Walk It Out tour for Professor. Oh my God, I feel horrible. I forgot her name. Remember that one thing, the walkout tour, and you like brought over like all this collective lifestyle stuff towards the end by the Matza House. God, I'm horrible for like not remembering her name. Professor.
Yeah,
man, I'm trying to get her to the podcast too. Professor Chen.
Yeah.
Professor Chen. Her walkout. You brought like your you brought out like
a rack of clothes.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, hella community right there.
Yeah.
And I do also remember when I was writing emails for you that you're more than just about like the brand. You're more than just about collective lifestyle, like the merchandise and the storefront. You were trying to write to the whoever it may be in the city.
It was like someone that was doing like urban. They were in charge of urban planning for like the councilman.
Yeah, you were trying to get more lights in the area so it's safer and people feel more safe to walk in the area and
Less
ultimately walk into your store. But that wasn't like the main point. It was the safety of people.
Yeah.
And I think you're trying to get rid of the bike lanes or something.
Not really get rid of.
Not rid of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Not get rid of them, but they were becoming kind of a hassle when it comes to parking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess when it comes to like, I mean, I'm all for bikes. I bike myself, but I guess the bike lanes weren't serving. I mean, they're there to increase like, you know, bike riders. To be honest, it wasn't really doing that. And then it was supposed to also keep bike riders safer from cars. It wasn't doing that either.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty like you ride in there, it still feels dangerous. And then it turns out those bike lanes, it pushes the cars out closer into the streets. And so when someone's door is open, the cars are closer to the cars. Oh. And so there's been a few instances on Reseda Boulevard where someone's door is open and then a bus just like boom just hits the car door, and it's, you know, yeah. So like there's been an increase in accidents there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the increase in accidents is not the accident count isn't higher than the amount of bikers that have been using it, right. But it's close. Right. Yeah. Like I was there every day. I'd see how many people use the bike lanes. Not too much.
I don't see too many people. I ride my bike myself.
Yeah.
I ride it everywhere. Dang, I don't think I see like one or two.
Yeah.
Usually just me.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that the bike lanes, it got rid of a lot of parking there, and that hurt so many of the businesses there.
Right.
Even my business, before we were even open, when we were doing construction, there was parking right out front of my store. And every single day, this was a game changer. Every single day when we were doing construction, we'd see 100+ people walk through the front window of the store, and they'd look into the store and they'd be like, "Oh, what's going on?" Because, you know, we were next to a good, you know, Thai restaurant.
Yeah.
And so people would park there, they'd walk past the store, and they'd look in. Like 100 people every single day. You put the bike lanes there, the parking cut off right before the store. Now, no one.
Damn.
We'd have like 3, 4, you know, just the regular people that are walking there that have no intentions of shopping. Right. Those people would pass by the store. But, you know, again, when you're paying $2,400 a month, it's for a reason. You're paying for that foot traffic. Right. You know, when I signed up for that spot, it's like because I knew. Look at how many people are walking past the store every day, and after that, it just big time like changed. Yeah, and you could ask a lot of the businesses there. They know like it 100% changed their business. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's great. Like, you know, sustainability is great and biking is great, but not too many people were using the bike lanes. I'm not saying to get rid of the bike lanes, but you know, we should find a solution. That's a different alternative. Yeah. I
retract that statement. He was not trying to get rid of the bike lanes. That was all me. Yeah. I have poor choice of wording. No, fuck this guy. Me. Not really, but...
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, clarify that. But no, yeah. I definitely feel that bike lanes are necessary, especially in LA. Yeah. Someone said like high percentage of bikers get injured in LA out of like highest percentage out of all the other cities in the country maybe. Yeah. I'm like, damn. I thought Frisco was a spot where you get like dinged and stuff. But I don't know. I don't even feel safe in bike lanes. I don't on the sidewalk.
Well, I mean, it's in other countries it's safer there. Oh, yeah. But one of the things in other countries is they make like biking as a culture there. Mm-hmm. So like most people, like when you're going somewhere within like 5 miles away from, it could be less than 5 miles, but like when we're going to somewhere that's like, let's say a 15-minute drive, that could be I'm mixing up my math. But yeah, like let's say a 5-minute drive, that's a 10-minute bike ride. Right. Like yeah, usually like if you're in a neighborhood. And you could technically do a 5-minute, you know, bike drive to the store. You could do, you know, 10-minute bike ride to the store. Yeah. You know, if everyone in our communities made that like a priority, like they realize, all our cars are emitting CO2 emissions. You know, how do we cut that? Stop driving. You know, or carpool more, or you know, take the Hyperloop or whatever it may be.
Take a Tesla.
Yeah, like take a Tesla. But if you're not doing that, you know, most likely like what might be a good option is, you know, take a bike to somewhere, you know, right down the street if you're trying to go to the liquor store to buy some beers. Yeah. And it's 2 blocks away. Don't drive there. Just take a bike. You know, it takes 5 minutes.
It's cheaper too.
Yeah. And it's good for exercise. Yeah. You know, obesity is a huge problem in this country. Right. You know, exercise, get your health up, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Do you use the bike lane or sidewalk?
I use the sidewalks.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I love the bike lane. I feel safe in the bike lanes. The protected areas on Reseda sometimes.
Yeah.
But when they're painted, I'm good.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk. I'm just extra careful, extra slow.
Yeah.
I like the bike lanes on campus.
Yeah.
I feel safe there.
Yeah.
But on Reseda, iffy.
Yeah.
Iffy.
Yeah.
Sidewalks, man.
It's scary.
Especially this Reseda, so many accidents, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's about it. I guess I can link all this stuff on the description.
Yeah.
I'm dropping this tomorrow.
Cool.
I did 2 podcasts before this. I'm like, CJ's priority because this shit's coming out Sunday. So January 13th, that's this Sunday to go vote.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Like the lifestyle. Cool.